Hello everybody. Welcome and Happy New Year. And I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so excited. We are going to do this 365 day challenge this year. And this is going to be called the Nevelle Show. And this is the second recording today because I think I'm probably going to be doing this on YouTube and just be posting it on Facebook and Instagram. That probably works better than me looking into several different cameras and not really talking to everybody. So anyway, so what we're planning on doing is we're going to have a little bit of a schedule, and we're starting today in a more spiritual topic, fitting to Sunday because it happens to be Sunday today. And then on Mondays we usually have a self-defense technique out of a book that I bought, which explains kind of how to which is a part of the course, the PETS course. If you've bought the course, I promised that we would be doing this just to explore what kind of things are out there, what has worked for people, what has not worked for people. Every Tuesday we're going to have some funny pet story or something, and I'm going to use that to explain something. Every Wednesday, whatever comes up, I think that is going to be a little bit of a free one. Then let's see what we have on Thursdays. Every Thursday we've got win-win science, scientific discoveries that help the environment and help people so that both parties win. Every Friday, the most interesting bit in the week that I found, which may be a scientific discovery, which may be an animal story, which may be some win-win story, which may be something spiritual. It depends. On Saturday, well, it's a 365-day challenge, but the challenge on Saturday is that we're going to be free and we're going to be relaxing. So we're going to have the Saturday free. But on Sunday, we are going to have spirituality again. And that may be something that comes from quotes from the Bible, from Hinduism, from Buddhism, whatever. Personal development. It may be something personal development related. It may be something meditation related. So all kinds of different things I've got planned. And today we're going to start with something because we are starting with the spirituality bit. We are starting with something out of a book I read at the moment, which is called A Course on Miracles, which is a really excellent book, which was recommended by Eckhart Tolle in one of his videos. And there was a quote in there by accident. I just read it every day or every Sunday. And to have all, give all to all, which really fits this. Initially, I wasn't quite entirely sure what that was supposed to be about, and then I kept on reading, and I'm putting my own take on it right now, and I'm not going to go too much into personal stories, but one thing that really fit for me was Tony Robbins says in his seminars that if the highest form of love is if you love even if somebody else doesn't love you, or even if they hurt you, right? The first, I'm not going to go through everything that he teaches because he teaches it, but so the highest form of love is if you give love, although you may not be receiving it or you don't know if you will receive it. So it's not transactional. And why is that? That was a real revelation for me when I tried it, because a few years ago I had the feeling that all love had gone, and he had said that though, and what he had also said is that you actually only win because if you give love, you feel it first because it flows through you, right? So it is, you are connecting still in a way, or you may not, the other person may not want to connect, but you're still loving and you're still giving that love, so you're receiving it yourself as well. So I tried that. And it is a very, very powerful technique. Not only because it, in some instances, of course, it will affect the outer relationship, but even if it doesn't, even if you never get back what you want from the other person, or you don't get it in the form that you think you should be getting it, it is still a beautiful experience, and you have full control over it. Because you can control who you want to love. And if you cut the other person off of love, you're cutting yourself off. You're actually hurting yourself. But if you keep it flowing, even if it hurts, even in times of trouble, you will find that you will probably find it will open if it's intense enough, it will open a door for you to a completely different universe, and you will connect to something completely different. Because in a way, what we are looking for in the other person is really the divinity in them, right? It's the soul in them. And through that soul, we connect to the divinity in the other person, and we connect to divinity. So it is, in a way, it is a way to open an entirely different world, an entirely different world of oneness. That was a really beautiful experience. And at the time, I wasn't quite there yet. You know, I'm not a saint, so I'm not always there. But I have had glimpses of it. And the way I got there was through a love challenge where I felt rejected, but I thought, okay, every day I will find something to love. Even if I don't feel the love myself, I will find something to love every day, and I will post that. And it was like a month challenge for me, just to. And because I posted it, it wasn't a public declaration. I really had to do it. I had to find something that was convincing enough. So I did this love challenge, and I will put the link below. I think it's www.nevelle.co.uk/the-love-challenge. But I will figure out the link and I will put it into this video. Anyway, so, and I found that was incredibly helpful, because every day I was looking for something to love every day, and it, even when I was in a really bad place, it turned me around, because every day I found something that I could love. I found something that I hadn't seen before. It's a very, very powerful technique. And that fits with to have all, give all, to all. Even if, you don't hold anything back, because the whole idea is, if you keep it to yourself and you don't give, because you want to keep it to yourself, and you think that there's a difference between having it and giving it, then you don't actually have it. It's an illusion. You can only have it if you are it, if you're being it. And if you're being it, you can give it. That's a bit complicated, but anyway, so read the book. It's much better explained in there. It's A Course in Miracles, and I said Eckhart Tolle recommended it. I won't really, if I have any kind of spiritual insights like this, I will probably not apply it too much in detail in certain situations, simply because people may find that as an attack on them. One of the things that I found in this Course in Miracles as well is this quote: if you don't share a thought system, you weaken it, and it appears like an attack to those who share it. I never really understood in the past why people kept thinking that I said such bad things, or that I was attacking them, when I actually wasn't. I had just understood something myself, and I wanted to share it, and I thought, oh, that's really helpful. Maybe it's helping other people as well. But of course, they felt that I was attacking them by attacking their value system. So I don't really want to do this. This is not supposed to be a confrontational thing. But on the other hand, I also have to explain a few things that I think are really valuable, that could really be helpful. So bear with me, okay? If you don't have to take anything for granted, I will tell you where I have these things from. Most of this is from A Course of Miracles, including the bit about being and having and sharing. But of course, how you apply it in real life is the wisdom in it, right? And that is up to you then. I know what I believe. But I won't, as I said, I won't go into much detail, because I also think that how you apply this will depend on the stage of development. There's a model out there that Tony Robbins explains, and I won't in his seminar, Date with Destiny. It comes from Claire Graves originally, and he puts his own slant on it and his own modifications on it, and I put my own modifications on his modifications then. That is what I'm going to explain to you now, what I took from the whole thing. But there's a development model there from what he calls purple and blue and orange and so on and so forth, and the different levels. If you've ever been to the seminar, you know what I'm talking about. And I think sometimes it depends on which level you are. The execution will look very different in some of these things. But anyway, so what I wanted to share though is the whole idea of giving to all is exactly what we want to be doing here. Because one of the things in the model is that he explains first that most people start with loving on a only very small part. Most people in most cultures start with really just loving themselves, right? If you have a baby, for example, a baby may be cute and all, and we love them because we have oxytocin in our bloodstream and everything, but it's not really the most altruistic person, right? If it has hunger or if it's hungry, then it will cry, and it will not care if you have a headache or if you want to sleep. It will want to have its food. It just cares about itself, really. That's okay, because that is the normal thing at that stage of development. Hopefully, when it grows up a little bit, it will become more altruistic and will care about more people, maybe the siblings, maybe the parents, the whole family. If it grows more, it may care about a bigger circle. That may be the city, or it may be the tribe. If it grows more spiritually, it will maybe care about the nation. If it grows even more, it will care about more than just the nation. Maybe it will care about all humanity. And what we care about is this whole thing and all life. So that is really the be all and end all for us. It's not that we exclude humanity and only care for animals, but we care about the entire spectrum. And that is the highest stage of development, really, in a lot of spiritual teachings as well. If you take a look at Buddhism or Hinduism as well. And there you can really see the more love you give out, the more comes back. Because if we love all nature, if we live in harmony with all nature, if we protect all nature, nature will protect us back. But if we harm nature, if we poison nature, nature will poison us right back, because we are all connected. And even in physics, they know that nowadays that we really are all connected. Right? There's a whole lot of new theories there now that also partly may even explain feelings like oneness, for example. I'm not going to go into that too much, but it's a beautiful thought that everything that you put out there, and if you love everything, you don't have to exclude anything. And that doesn't mean that you get less. A lot of times people, especially if they grew up with a lot of siblings, and there was always a rivalry, and if he got something, somebody else didn't get something, there's a lot of jealousy involved. And so people always think they have to hold on to something, and they can't give it, and if they give it, then it's gone away, and then they have to steal it back somehow or whatever. But it's really, you're losing so much. If you actually learn to give and let go, but realize that you're still sharing, if you give love, it will just multiply. It will not be less for you then. And the way to explain it is a little bit, if you were to a Tony Robbins seminar at any point, if you remember the interventions that he does, he will only talk with one person, and he will pour all his love into that one person. But still, everybody in that room feels that love. Everybody in that room feels included. Everybody in that room feels a certain oneness experience, because they're giving love to that person as well. If at that point you say, oh my God, he's talking to that person, he should be talking to me, and I hate it, he should be giving attention to me, you won't feel any of it. And even if he comes later to you and he just talks to you for the next hour or so, you will have much less of the event than if you share the love with others, and you're happy to share the love with others, because then the entire event you will feel loved in a way, because you will share in the love of everybody in the room, who are all focusing on that person that is being helped and that is being protected in a way. And that's how love multiplies. The more you give, the more comes back. And the same thing happens with the environment and with animals and everything that is out there. The more you give out, the more love you give out to everything, and not just to your little circle of family, not just your little circle of nation or whatever, but to everybody else as well. The more comes back, and at some point you don't have to exclude anybody anymore, because the more you exclude, the less you get. Because once you are love, you give love. At least that's what I took out of it. So I hope that made a little bit of sense, and I hope you enjoyed this a little bit. So next time, tomorrow, we're going to be here at the same time again. I will try to do this at 8:30 Central European time. I don't know what that is in your time zone, and I will post that at about 8:30 Central European time on YouTube probably, and then later on Instagram and on Facebook. It may be even a YouTube live. Let's take a look. I'm still figuring out how that works with the whole technical stuff, and I wish you a very, very happy new year, a very, very joyful and loving new year, and a very successful one. So welcome to this series, and I hope I will see you back tomorrow. Bye.